the fact that rejection, you are better off than the person who didn't do it at all, who never did any outreach, who never put out the content, who never tried the things. Rejection puts you in an advantageous place. So, in short, you normally get rejected because you lack a strong or clear marketing practice or strategy. So, it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with how good your product is. It has nothing to do with if it's possible for this thing to make money. It has everything to do with how well this person that's rejecting your offer understands that they should trust you, understands that it's time for them to do this, understands that this is something that's going to transform their life, right? But here's why I want to tell you to still go out there and get rejected. Here's why I want you to take the challenge. I'm going to challenge you today. So I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but I want to challenge you to set a goal to get rejected. Set a goal. You're going to win more every single time than those who never even tried. Welcome to the Limitless Podcast, the show where women entrepreneurs become radically aware of their limiting beliefs, learn to value their worth, generate wealth, and to thrive as a magnetic brand leader. I'm your host, Jamie Ratermann, a six-figure holistic business coach. I've helped over 100 rebellious entrepreneurs master marketing, embody leadership, and say fuck it to the hustle. Let's dive in. Hello, lovelies. Welcome to another episode of the Limitless Podcast. I hope you're having the best day. I hope that you are feeling in all the vibes of the spring, of May, of all the things that are coming through. Today, we're going to talk about something very important to your growth, to what you want in your life, in your business. But really, it's about developing a secure and strong relationship with your self-worth. Something that I love to talk about, especially mostly with my mastermind clients more than anywhere else, because we get to dive in pretty deep into kind of releasing those underlying patterns they might have when it comes to kind of getting in their own way here, is the power of rejection. I love talking about growing a brand, generating new wealth, but it's not all butterflies and rainbows, okay? It's not the best. It's not always going to be perfect. It's not always just the best warm feelings. Even to, I think, what I have decided to accept, but also I love about being an entrepreneur is that we are absolutely choosing to be rebellious. We're choosing to do something different than what was kind of given to us. But part of that is kind of hitting our own barriers, hitting our own ceiling. So within that, what that means is that we got to take the valleys with the hills. There's going to be ups and downs. If you're watching on YouTube, you're going to see the ups and downs of what it is to be an entrepreneur. And part of that is accepting that rejection is not only a part of the process, but if you are getting rejections, you are likely doing better in business than someone who is not. I want to say it again. If you are getting rejected in business, you are likely doing better than somebody who's in business and is not getting rejected. Okay. You want to go after rejection. Now, as you're listening to this episode and I keep saying the word rejection, you keep cringing. You have your shoulders are going up, your neck's feeling a little tighter than it did a second ago. Take it as a sign that this episode is about challenging that cringe, challenging how you feel about that, because for the people who are the most successful, even more so, the people who have transformed their lives. Think about the people who, didn't grow up with a lot of money and now they're millionaires in general. They have decided to allow rejection to be a key part of their success equation. I know I'm saying these things, right? The rejection sounds so, why would I choose to be rejected? Why would I go after rejection? Again, this is going to allow you just to be one step further than somebody who's just waiting for people to come to them, waiting for things to happen. But why the hell do we still fear rejection, even though we know it's a part of successful people's lives? We know it's a part of the brands that are thriving. We know. Why do we fear rejection? We decided to kind of make decisions or that what rejection means. We're flawed in that way. We've decided that rejection means the wrong things. So when we get rejected, the ultimate thought is we are not worthy. So if I DM somebody saying, I would love for you to be in one of my upcoming offers, I actually built it for you. And they go, you know what? Not right now. It's not for me. And my immediate reaction is, oh my God, I'm not good anymore. This offer isn't good anymore. That rejection, I'm deciding it means that I'm not worthy or I'm not good enough, right? In general, even too, if you're like putting out certain types of content, you're deciding to do a new offer, you're asking people for help, you're like, oh, people are going to hate me. If they say no to me, they must hate me. I'm letting this kind of pause and sit with it for the fact that we're deciding somebody's ability and like absolute power to say no in certain situations means something more about us than where they're at. And I want you to hear that is that we're making someone's no mean something about us. In general, I have like a last bullet point here when we are when what we decide rejection means is that somebody else is going to always be better than us. So I've talked a lot about owning your self-worth. I've talked a lot about understanding that your opinion of yourself is going to be the most important. But ultimately, when we come back to the core of what rejection is that we want to allow people to have the power to say no. But we also want to be able to get a no and make sure it means not a damn thing about us. Like not a damn thing about us. So that rejection is, in my opinion, the ultimate practice of how strong is your self-worth? How well have you developed your opinion of yourself? But let's take a real look at what actually is going on when we might be getting rejected. At least in the business standard. We're focusing on business right now, okay? So if I'm getting rejected by somebody, when somebody says no, or if you reach out to somebody and they decide like I'm nope, not now, it's not going to happen, or no, I'm not interested, or you get ghosted, even say, okay? All of these are options. This is true. This is actually what's true. And this is according to data. Like this is according to what people's reactions and what they say it is that they don't know the brand well enough. So if somebody says no, they haven't had enough time to interact with you. They haven't gotten to know you well enough in the way in which you are putting yourself out there. So they need a little more time. They're feeling worried about their budget or their money. All of us have different relationships to our money, and knowing that like we want them to make the empowered yes. So if they're saying no because of money and it's truly because of those reasons, they'll come when they're ready. They'll come when they have the budget. So being able to like, if they're feeling worried about their money, does that mean a single thing about you and what you provide and how much of an expert you are and what you're giving? Hell no, absolutely not. So true reasons why people actually reject somebody in business is they don't know you well enough. They feel worried about their budget or their money. The next one is important. They're not ready to make a change in that key area of their life, or they're not even aware that they need to change that part of their life. So I kind of want to go in a little bit deeper into this one. Sometimes when I'll have clients of mine who will say like, well, I reached out and they said no, or I'm like, feel like I'm convincing them to make it happen. This is usually where they're at, is that sometimes people simply don't understand that there's a different way to do things. Um, I'll use a good example here. There are people who I know are not ready for my programs, and those are the people who say the algorithm hates me. I'm like I freaking hate social media. They're just they're kind of in a burnout stage. They don't want to even attempt to play and gamify and go after it. Like I'm not going to be sitting there talking about the meaning behind your content, how strong and empowering it can be if they have this huge block in front of them that says, well, it's too difficult to even get any reach. So what's the point of this? They're not ready. Does it mean that they're not good people? Absolutely not. It just means they're not ready for what I have to provide. The only way for them to get ready, the only way for them to move past and go, oh, I'm open to this next thing is time with me, time in my content, time listening to these podcasts, time for the fact that I'm starting to kind of break apart that big wall they have before they're ready to put money behind it. When someone wants to buy from us, we want them to be ready. They're ready to take the steps, the actions to go. If they decide to buy from us before that, especially if I'm talking about coaches and service base providers, you're going to find that they aren't great clients. Not that, again, I'm not saying they're bad people, but they weren't ready and they're not going to go and do the damn thing. So whenever you're providing a service, especially to somebody, you want them to be ready to make the change. And that's something that's interpersonal, not what you do. All you can do is show them what's possible. So you might get rejected if they're not ready. And it's true. They're not ready to make that change in that area of life. This goes for healers, this goes for trainers or fitness trainers, this goes for chefs. Like it doesn't matter what kind of service you provide. They've not dedicated enough time to go like, is that my problem? Is that something that is a priority in my life to change right now? They're not ready. Fourth one here is they don't believe in themselves to follow through. So part of a lot of what I would like to kind of tap into here is that when somebody is like kind of a strategy only content creator, you got to do this strategy, go and do the strategy, go and do the strategy. Like that, the way they speak in their content, the way they present themselves is that it's do, go, action, action, action. They're leaving this particular thing off. When someone says they're not ready, they might actually mean they don't believe that they're actually going to be able to follow through with everything that you think they need to do. So they want to make sure that they can do these things. So part of what you're learning, if this is the true reason why you're getting rejected, is that you got to maybe fine tune your content. You may have to think about how can you provide a different way of talking about your offer that doesn't feel like it's so much that they are not going to be able to follow through. Like what kind of guidance can they truly be given to get there? Also, too, you might need to give them a lower ticket offer, a lower experience for them to follow through so they can have evidence that they can keep going with you. Just giving ideas here. Within this last piece is that if they have never even thought about getting a service like yours or a product. So this plays a little bit into they're not ready, but when you're brand new to somebody, you're brand new. You're brand new. So if they're going like, you know what, I never thought that this was an issue for me, even getting that rejection would allow them to go like, maybe this is something I should look into the future. Maybe I've never even considered that this could be something that's supportive to me. A great example of something like this is that I didn't know I didn't know about grocery delivery until COVID. I didn't know. I mean, I know it boomed during that time, but I was remember being so hungry some days and realizing that I couldn't just get grocery delivery until somebody said it out loud. Like, oh, didn't you know that there's this and there's that? And you could do this and that. Like it was simply like, oh. And it took me like a month or two to go like, is it worth the $20 delivery fee? Like delivery fee to drop it off and save me money. Is it worth doing that every once in a while? Give them time is the idea. Give them time. So everything I'm kind of talking about of the reasons why someone gets rejected, I hope, and the reason why I wanted to spend extra time on them, I hope you hear in there is that this is data. This is ways in which you can get better at going after these people that may have rejected you. You're going to learn a lot about them. So within this, I'm saying when you get rejected, walk away learning what you can do about it. Walk away going, why not? What would make it a no-brainer for them the next time? Who might they know that would like this offer? So again, think about the fact that rejection, you are better off than the person who didn't do it at all, who never did any outreach, who never put out the content, who never tried the things. Rejection puts you in an advantageous place. So, in short, you normally get rejected because you lack a strong or clear marketing practice or strategy. So, it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with how good your product is. It has nothing to do with if it's possible for this thing to make money. It has everything to do with how well this person that's rejecting your offer understands that they should trust you, understands that it's time for them to do this, understand that this is something that's going to transform their life, right? But here's why I want to tell you to still go out there and get rejected. Here's why I want you to take the challenge. I'm going to challenge you today. So I feel I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but I want to challenge you to set a goal to get rejected. Set a goal. You're going to win more every single time than those who never even tried. Cue all of the famous quotes out there. You miss all the shots that you never took, right? Like that I feel like I feel like it's a Michael Jordan quote, but it's the same idea. Is that the people who are going out there and approaching this and trying the things, they're going to be able to do better than you making assumptions, hoping, wishing, and not putting yourself out there. This is what it is. Your challenge, or what I'm trying to say, is that it's not only that you should overcome this kind of debilitating feeling of rejection. I want you to become friends with them. I want you to realize that the more rejections you get in a week, in a month's time, the better you're going to be. Even too, if let's say just for shits and giggles, let's say you go out and say, I want to get rejected 10 times. That's my goal. I want to go out and get rejected 10 times. And the fourth time this fourth thing that you're going to try to go get rejected on turns into a yes, you're like, shit, I got to keep going. Got to get rejected 10 times, because you're going to find the more you ask for the things that you want, the more they're going to come to you. The more you're going to know how to ask it a little differently the next time. The more you're going to be able to fine tune and go after it. So take out a pen and paper. We're going to do this together. I'll tell you about my month of rejection. I'm happy to. Take out a piece of paper. I want you to write down 10 things you know you could do right now. Now, if you're driving while you're listening to this podcast, put them in your head maybe, and then write them out later, or pull over and write them down if you're feeling called to. But write down the things you know right now you could be doing to make more money in your business or to get more recognition for your brand that you've been shying away from. Just think about it. What aren't you doing because you're worried you're going to get rejected, because you think you might get rejected? I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna let you sit there for just a moment and think about it. Okay. I assume a few of these things got onto your list. Maybe posting more often because you're worried that you're not going to get enough reach, that you're not going to get enough likes, that people aren't going to respond, people aren't going to buy sales from you, even though you're doing all this time and this effort to put it out there. That could be a form of rejection that you're not doing right now. Let's say you're not even pitching, you're not even selling your content or selling your offers within your content. You're not even doing the DM outreaches to potential clients. You're not, in general, talking to people about what you sell, what you do. That could be one of them. Maybe you've been wanting to launch a product for a long time and it's just been sitting there because you're worried that no one's going to want it. It's not going to work. That if you put all the effort in, it's not going to go through. That could be one of them as well. You might be holding off on pitching a community so that you could be a guest coach, a panelist on a podcast. If any of you want to be a guest on this podcast, we have it on my website. We could talk to you. So if you've been wanting to be seen and heard, but you're just like, oh, what if I get rejected or they don't get back to me? That's another one. Raising your prices is definitely another place where people worry about rejection. I could keep going. Make your list of 10 particular things that you know that you've been shying away from because you're worried about getting rejected. I want you to be honest. Trust the answers that come up for you. All right, here's the challenge. We're here. We're slaying rejection. It's gone. We're not going to let it be something that stops us from what we want in our lives. Okay. So this is the challenge. We're entering into a month of rejection. You let me know. You DM me over on Instagram at Jamie Ratermann, JamieRatermann, and you tell me if you're taking the challenge. This is your month of rejection. So I want you to set a number to how many times you're going to get rejected. Now you get to set this number. I'm not going to tell you to go out and get 100 rejections. I'm not going to go tell you to get 200 rejections. If you look up rejection goals on Google, you're going to find that people do this all the time because they're trying to get over this debilitating feeling, right? But you choose a number. My encouragement is that it should be at least 8 to 10 times. My encouragement is that we want to at least get it in a certain arena, but you're going to choose how many times you're getting rejected. So instead of saying how many sales you're going to get, I want you to say how many rejections am I going to get? I know it feels really crazy. Feels really crazy. I know. Take a quick deep breath with me. Take a big deep breath. Go inhale and exhale. The reason why our bodies react to the word rejection like this is because when we were, cavemen, cave women in the world, rejection was actually going to prevent us from surviving. We still have those fight, flight feelings in our body. Okay. We still have them, but now they're not attached correctly to the activities that they're surrounded with. You can get rejected and still have a place to sleep safely, still have enough food in your belly, still be able to be friends with people around you. Okay. Rejection does not prevent you from living your life. Rejection does not prevent you from being accepted. It actually may allow you to be more accepted because you're going to learn a lot about yourself and how you feel about yourself in the process. Okay. So when we say we're going to take this challenge and you're setting this number, this is what I want you to consider. So you have your rejection number in mind. Again, I'm not going to say a number because I want you to choose it for yourself. Let's talk about 2 important things before you run off and do this challenge, okay? 1, I want you to understand what the power of rejection is. I want you to expect to be rejected. That's why we have that rejection goal. So expect to be rejected, okay? Do it anyway. I think that's part of why I want to word it this way. When you get rejected, celebrate it. Oh, check, got my rejection, checking it off. And being able to say the more shots you're taking, the more likely you will make one, the more likely someone's going to come and make it happen. Okay. So I'm going to take more shots this month. That's the idea. I want to take more shots. I'm going to make sure that I'm not the reason that people don't know about me. People don't know about what I'm doing. You're going to learn more from this experience than avoiding it. That's the power of what this rejection is. There's a couple, again, like I said, you can look online for a lot of these things. People talking about getting 100 rejections. Even I saw someone do a year of rejection about how they made a goal every single month of how many times they're going to get rejected. And they talked about how much money they made, how many new people they met, because they were able to know that they were going to be okay, even if they got no's, even if people weren't there. So the power of rejection is going to absolutely make a difference. I don't talk a lot about guarantees on here, but I'm going to guarantee if you set a strong number for yourself and you follow through with it, you're going to walk out of this challenge going, I know myself better than I ever have before. I have no doubts. I have no doubts. Now, knowing that it is quite powerful, let's still walk into it with our eyes wide open. We want to activate our self-worth. So what this looks like is you're really just testing your power of how you feel about yourself before you let others' opinions of you shift, right? So if nothing else, have this objective to be, I am going to strengthen my belief in self. I'm going to strengthen the power I have of loving myself first. So prepare for this in two ways. One, remind yourself of why you're doing this. I want this to be intrinsic. I want this to be something like, I'm doing this for me so that I am powerful. So I want you to think affirmations. Put an affirmation on a post-it, put it on a computer. It's like, before I'm sending out these DMs and outreach to people, I'm gonna do this. Before I put out these new posts, I want to do this. Before I'm going to put out this new offer, I know that I am powerful beyond measure, that I love myself more than anyone else, that I am better off doing this for myself than not. These are simple affirmations. Just remind yourself to go do. Within that, you could also engage with a vision board, because you know that thriving version of yourself in that vision board, they're not scared of rejection. They're not. But also do a little bit of like really self-love, appreciation for yourself for even doing the practice, right? Make a list of the things you love about yourself, of the offer that you're sharing, that you know that even if you get a no, that this offer is going to change lives. That's a big part of this. That can be helpful here. Or once somebody hears about this, they're going to be more open to changing their lives in some way. Going back to those early things of why people truly reject people in truth. Okay. Now that's beforehand. Afterhand, let's just preemptively have a little bit of a care kit for ourselves. What kind of things do you do that you know are going to allow you to come back to center when you've been rejected? So what does that look like? I like to call this a joy kit. So a joy kit can be a collection of digital or physical things that make you smile, make you proud of yourself, remind you that you know what the hell you're doing. You're very good. A joy kit can just help you to remind yourself that there are clients out there that love everything you've done for them. It's a good one. Your favorite movie, a friend that you're going to call, tell them that you're doing this challenge, know that they're along with the ride with you, a dance party, like have a playlist that you know is going to get you out of your body, like really moving your body in some way is going to be really helpful. Even to taking in some somatic practice during this time is going to be a big deal, so you can regulate the emotions that come up. Make a list of it. Know what you can go to when, in general, this isn't working out. Right? When you're going to feel like you're going to get in the dumps. We're not sugarcoating this. We're running at something that we fear all the time. So there's going to be moments where you feel a little bit low. But let's be prepared with a little first aid kit whenever we're feeling those low moments. We know what we can do. We know how we can bring ourselves back to center. I am so excited for you to take this challenge. I'm going to do it with you all. I'll share my stories about it because I need a little fine tuning myself. I want to leave you with this. The emotions, any of the cringe that's coming up when we're talking about this, understand that all emotions are temporary. Your ability to grow is dependent on how you push yourself outside of your comfort zone for the right reasons. And in my opinion, not letting rejection prevent you from living the life you want, from leading the business you want, from loving yourself first is the right reasons. So again, take the challenge. Take the challenge. Playing small is not part of your vocabulary this month. We're going big. Somebody has asked me this before. I would tell you that being a thriving entrepreneur is being willing to fall flat on your face and to get back up and keep going. We want to be able to, we want to go and take the shots where we know we might fall flat, but we know we're going to get up afterward no matter what. That's what we're going after. That's why rejection is a key piece of being a thriving entrepreneur. All right. I want to help you out a little bit more this month. I please listen to this episode. Please DM me and tell me if you're taking the challenge. Just a quick reminder, Instagram is that place for me at JAMIERATERMANN. Come and say hi. Of course, it's in the show notes, but I am also going to add in the show notes 10 free self-worth journal prompts. So this is going to help you just be more grounded, maybe tame some of those emotions that are coming up. I just want you to have this. For me, journaling is one of my best ways to process hard emotions. So I want to make sure you have it too. So I want to just drop it into the show notes. If you need a little help when you take the challenge, I believe in you. I'll have these journal prompts waiting for you. Okay. I'm so excited for you all. I'm so excited, but I'm also giddy because I'm going to do this with you. I want to do this with you. All right, guys. Rejection is just a word. We can handle it. We can do it. Until next time, live a little more limitless.